Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today, we bring you an incredibly emotional and powerful story, a moment of recognition that has sent waves through the wrestling world and the streets of the Bronx alike. WWE Superstar Damian Priest has just received one of the highest honors his hometown could bestow upon him. He has officially been inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame. For many, this may seem like just another celebrity recognition, but for those who know his story, his battles, his roots, and his rise from the gritty streets of New York to the electrifying arenas of WWE, this moment means everything. It is a homecoming like no other, a tribute to resilience, and a reminder of what dreams, hard work, and pride in your origins can truly achieve. Luis Martínez, known to the wrestling world as Damian Priest, was not born into fame, fortune, or opportunity. He was born in New York to Puerto Rican parents and raised in the Bronx, specifically in neighborhoods like Parkchester and Castle Hill, areas with rich cultural history, but also neighborhoods that have seen their fair share of hardship and struggle. Damian's childhood wasn't one of ease. He grew up surrounded by the reality of working-class challenges, where the temptation to stray from a positive path lurked at every corner. Yet, through the adversity, he held on to something powerful, his love for wrestling, and his belief that he could one day stand where his idols once stood, in front of roaring crowds, not as a spectator, but as a champion. In his own words, he remembers trips with his father to City Island, summer strolls through the Bronx, and moments of wonder watching WWE on television. Those memories weren't just nostalgic. They were seeds. Seeds that would one day bloom into an unstoppable ambition. He didn't have a clear road to WWE. There were no guarantees. But Damian Priest carried that Bronx fire in his soul, and every obstacle only sharpened his determination. His early career was filled with setbacks and struggles. He began wrestling under his real name in various independent promotions. Unlike many others, he didn't have the luxury of instant fame or viral moments. He had grit, he had talent, and he had that deep-seated passion that can't be taught. And slowly, step by painful step, the world started to notice. In 2018, he signed with WWE's NXT, a moment that would change everything. In NXT, Damian Priest came alive. He brought a unique blend of size, speed, charisma, and presence. The WWE Universe quickly embraced him, not just for his in-ring ability, but for his aura, this mysterious, larger-than-life personality who still felt so authentic. From the very beginning, he represented more than just himself. He carried the hopes of kids who came from nothing, who walked the same streets he once did. And when he moved from NXT to the main WWE roster, his momentum only grew. Over the years, Damian Priest has racked up impressive accomplishments. He became the United States champion. He formed a key alliance with top stars like Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor in the Judgment Day faction. But perhaps the most impactful moment came in 2024, when he reached the pinnacle, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was the culmination of everything he had fought for. It was validation for every time he was overlooked, every time someone told him he wouldn't make it. And yet, through all this success, he never forgot where he came from. In interviews, social media posts, and public appearances, Priest constantly speaks about the Bronx. He doesn't treat it as a distant memory. It's who he is. That's why when news broke that Damian Priest would be inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame, the reaction was overwhelming, not just from wrestling fans, but from the community that raised him. The Bronx Walk of Fame is not just a symbolic gesture. It is a deeply meaningful institution that honors those who have carried the Bronx spirit into their fields of excellence. Past honorees include music legends, artists, politicians, and athletes. It is a recognition not only of talent, but of impact. And Damian Priest, with all he has achieved and all he represents, more than earned his place among those stars. The ceremony was nothing short of magical. Priest stood on the same streets he walked as a child, this time with cameras flashing, supporters cheering, and a plaque bearing his name being placed into the ground. In an emotional social media post, he wrote, "Honored and grateful, a special day." It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy. It was humble and heartfelt, the exact way you'd expect from someone who has walked the long, hard road from the bottom to the top. WWE also celebrated the honor, sharing the news across their platforms, recognizing that Priest's story is not just a personal victory, it's a company milestone. He is a symbol of how the WWE universe is evolving, embracing diversity, culture, and genuine stories of perseverance. For a kid from the Bronx to stand on that stage and be recognized not just as a performer, but as a hometown hero, it sends a message to millions of dreamers out there. This honor is more than a plaque. It's a love letter to every young person who feels forgotten. It's a beacon of hope that says, no matter where you start, your journey matters. Damian Priest didn't take shortcuts. He didn't come from privilege. What he had was unshakable belief and the spirit of the Bronx behind him. His name now sits among the greats, but he's never forgotten the boy who watched wrestling in a tiny apartment. Dreaming of something bigger, for fans, this recognition brings even more respect for Priest. Inside the ring, he is dominant. He delivers match after match, promo after promo, never losing the edge that makes him unforgettable. Outside the ring, he is proof that champions are not just born. They are made, forged in fire, in community, in resilience. Let's talk about the ripple effect. This honor doesn't just reflect on Priest. It elevates the entire wrestling world. It gives professional wrestling legitimacy in spheres that often overlook it. It shows that wrestlers are not just entertainers. They are community leaders, role models, cultural icons. And with stars like Damian Priest leading the way, there is no limit to how far wrestling can go. In many ways, this honor feels like a beginning, not an end. Damian Priest is still in his prime. His career is thriving. More championship runs, main events, and iconic moments are surely ahead. But now, he carries something even more powerful. The weight and pride of this honor. When he steps into the ring, he carries the Bronx with him. Every single time, he carries the legacy of everyone who helped him, who believed in him, who watched him grow into the man he is today. This moment also highlights the power of recognition. In a world that moves fast, where success is fleeting and attention spans are short, taking the time to honor someone's journey is profound. It says, "We see you. We remember where you started, and we're proud of how far you've come." As the wrestling world reacts, the messages pour in from fellow wrestlers, fans, celebrities, and everyday people who see Damian Priest, not just as a champion, but as one of them. A success story born from humble beginnings. A fighter who never gave up. A Bronx boy turned WWE superstar. So what's next for Damian Priest? Whatever it is, we know it will be epic, because he's not just chasing gold anymore. He's building a legacy, one that is grounded in authenticity, honor, and gratitude. One that reminds us all that success is sweetest when you never forget your roots. And to every kid in the Bronx watching this moment, wondering if they can make it, Wondering if they matter? Damian Priest just gave you your answer. You can. You do, and your story is just beginning. This has been Daily Gossip, bringing you the most emotional and inspirational moments from the world of celebrities, sports, and entertainment. If you were moved by Damian Priest's story, and we're sure you were, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Until next time, remember, greatness begins where your heart lives. And sometimes that place is home.